Welcome back to Sunday Agenda. I'm Lidia. Whether on the news or delivering the news, sometimes the fake news can't help itself. And here at NEWSMAX, we always bring you the best of the best. So it's another time for another round of media madness. Joining me this week are independent journalist and host of the Outliers Podcast, Lauren Conlin. Also with us, CEO and founder of LifeFlip Media and LifeFlip Daily, Eric Mitchell. Lauren, you are a great reporter. You've been out there, so you'll relate to this next story. It's not been a great week for Joe Biden, especially when it comes to criticism over his cognitive abilities. For starters, he forgot the name of the terror group that the world has been talking about for the better part of 4 months. Take a look.
There is some movement, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. There's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.
So, Lauren, instead of the reporters actually holding Biden's feet to the fire, instead of them revealing just how mentally, not there he is, we needed a special report. And then you see it right there. The reporter has to help him finish his thoughts. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that was really, really hard to watch, Lidia. I think you tweeted it perfectly the other day. You said elder abuse. And, I'm sitting here watching this. And yes, number one, he forgot the name Hamas, the most heinous terrorist organization that we've faced in a very long time. And so that right there was enough to be like, oh, my gosh, are you kidding me? But I'm also thinking about Biden's staff at this point. His staff is probably sweating bullets like they have been for the last 4 years. I mean, imagine their blood pressure. They are just so sick of this. I can only imagine that, every time he walks off stage after giving a speech, they just breathe this sigh of relief, like we got through this one. But now what's going to happen on the next one?
You're so right. And then I was just looking online. Jen Psaki of MSNBC, former White House press secretary, she's apparently fuming about the media coverage. If you're sitting in the White House, you're banging your head against the wall. That goes to your point, Lauren, that they are freaking out. She's calling it out. And Eric, even more concerning behavior from the president, not once, but twice this week. Biden confused a living world leader with one who died decades earlier. On Sunday, he claimed he recently spoke to a French president who died in 1996. I don't think do we have time to play the soundbite? Let's just pass through it because we'll play it because it's like at this point we're like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Let's play it.
Right after I was elected, I went to what they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders. It was in the south of England. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said, how long are you back for?
Oh, God. And then later, while speaking to a crowd of donors in New York City, he confused German chancellors. One of the chancellors, Kohl, he's been dead since 2017. So now Joe Biden, he sees dead people. I mean, really? Right, Eric? I mean, and I don't know. How can Democrats defend this guy anymore? He's not there.
They have spent all Sunday morning saying how cognitive he is and how you need to show up prepared for meetings with Joe Biden because he's sharp. And I'm going, he's talking to dead people. He doesn't know where he is. I mean, and Lauren had it right. It's a PR nightmare for anyone who works in the White House. And as a matter of fact, when he's done speaking, we just need to make sure he leaves the stage in the right direction without Jill having to show up. I don't know how Democrats are saying he's sharp as whatever you could be sharp as, because that's not sharp. That is somebody who desperately needs to ride off into the sunset in a retirement home or back in the basement where he was 4 years ago, because this isn't a competent person. And it's not an insult. It's somebody with early onset dementia. I have a father with it, and I can tell you this is what it looks like. It's not being mean. It's a cold, hard fact. He can't remember things. And it's embarrassing. That's the leader of the free world. It's
elder abuse. And I blame Dr. Jill Biden because my mother knows my father very well. We know, Lauren, you know your husband better than anyone. I know my husband better than anyone. And I would not allow him to go out there and be ridiculed and made a fool of himself. And then meanwhile, you've got MSNBC playing cover. Joyless Reed. She's back in the headlines this time. I want you to take a listen, Lauren. She compared Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger to leaders from the civil rights movement because of how they stood up to President Trump. You can't make this up. Take a listen.
I disagree with Adam Kinzinger. I disagree with Liz Cheney vehemently on their politics. But that's political courage, to stand up to your party, to stand up for your country. The Tennessee Three, these 20-something-year-old state senators, and Miss Gloria Johnson, their 60-something-year-old friend, who came together and said, we're going to stand up to the Speaker of the Tennessee House. Those small acts of courage are what can save our democracy.
I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I liked her suit, but the hair, now she's like, I'm just like staring at her hair. Like, what is that? That's a bad.
Yeah, I have a really hard time watching Joy Reid. I mean, I don't want to speak ill of her, of course, but I do have a hard time watching her. And I think something to be said here, and if you watch that whole interview with Colbert, obviously she said what she said about, Cheney and Kinzinger, and that was very silly. I think Medgar Evers would be like, are you seriously comparing them to me, who actually did so much for the Black community and, received medals and awards. And, you've got Liz Cheney over here who hired $60,000 worth of security to protect her when she thought she was getting Twitter death threats. So there's that, but there's also the fact that Donald Trump lives rent-free in Joy Reid's head. She is constantly talking about him when he has nothing to do with her book. That whole interview, I'm like, wow, Joy Reid, I just don't think Donald Trump ever thinks about you. So that is just, that's something to be said right there.
We have to leave it right there. I'll bring you back. Eric, you're always great. And Lauren as well. You're amazing. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks, Lidia. Bye, Eric.
So we have some big news.